Okay, this part 2 of this where I left off at. I'm saying this right here, melanated people. You really don't have enough weapons to fuck with this natural born killer, this Caucasian curse of a leprous beast. You don't have the power to really stand up to him when it comes weapon to weapon. But you do have the power to annihilate this motherfucking ass through the spiritual forces, because the spiritual forces and the universal forces is with you. Do you understand that? But you reject the universal and the spiritual forces that's with you to fight this beast with. You reject it. Why? Because you believe wholeheartedly in his system. Anything that he lay out, any propaganda that he put out, anything that's put before you, you eat it up hook, line, and sinker. Especially the melanated women. You all have become straight whores to this unmelanated European Caucasus Mountain cave animal. You have become his exclusive whore. And in order for us to be able to rise as an individual, concerted people, one for all and all for one, we have to come out of this mind state that we've been put in. You understand? Because once he allowed this dollar to collapse, the new system that's going to come up under that ain't going to have nothing to do with no paper no more, no currency no more. It's going to have to do with everything with a tracking device, with an RFID chip that's going to be able to track your every move, that's going to have all your information plugged into it. So when you go to buy a soft drink or a beer or whatever, you got to present that chip as your identification to be able to scan the same way they barcode and scan all of the products that you go in the store and buy today. When you going and you going past the cash register and you hear that beep sound, beep, 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 and the total is steady adding up. That's a barcode scan, and that's what they're gonna be able to do with that RFID chip that's gonna be chipped inside of you. Once you accept that, and once you accept that, lights out. It's over with. It's been a wrap. Because anytime you F up, anytime you mess up, anytime you create any opposition to the will of this unmelanated Euro-Gentile beast, he gonna cut your chip off. So you won't be able to buy nothing. You won't be able to get no type of medical treatment. You won't be able to even to survive unless you surviving on your own resources. But far as you depending on the system and the government for your survival and you being able to make it, you won't be able to survive once he cut that chip off. And I'm just scratching the surface. I ain't even got down to the nitty-gritty of the subject. But what I'm trying to show you is this. The very powers that be that control this economic conglomerate that's controlling this global system is in a state of confusion and in a state of collapse. And the collapse is going to start here first in the so-called United States of America. And by this country having people who are not so bright, they used to being propagandized, they under the impression that, okay, it's the black president who got in there, who causing everything to collapse, because he's steady doing all these stimulus. He's steady taking all this trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, blowing it over here, blowing it over there, blowing it over here, and he ain't giving us the people nothing. So he's committing robbery and treason against the country. So therefore, we got to get him out the way. But, like I said, he's plugged in entirely to the system. So they won't be able to do nothing with him. They'll end up losing their life trying to get him out the way, long as he is loyal to those who put him in play, which is the system itself. So long as he loyal to that and carry out their agenda, he'll be okay. He'll be protected. His wife will be protected. His kids will be protected. So therefore, I understand the psyche of this unmelanated European Caucasian leprous animal. I understand his psyche. So I understand that if he cannot get to the primary source, he will get those around. Meaning you, the ones who walk up the street every day thinking that your shit don't stink, thinking that you are part of the so-called American Republic, thinking that you the so-called proud professional worker and citizen and taxpayer of a republic that's been bred and born off your blood, sweat, and tears, and off the blood, sweat, and tears of your ancestors. He coming at you and your kind. And far as you individuals who living with him, you black men who are living with these Caucasian women, having children with them, marrying them, he gonna slaughter you when that time comes. He gonna slaughter you flat out. And you old whorish black women who living with these white men and you having children with them and all that shit there, he gonna really slaughter your ass. It ain't gonna be no mercy on the slaughter that he gonna put down on your ass. And guess what? Your innocent children that was born out of a unholy alliance between you and the white devil, that innocent child gonna get wiped out up under that same slaughter that's gonna be meant for you. Why? Because you had no business in entering into an unholy alliance with this white demon and bringing about a seed under that kind of union. But all I got to say is this right here. Y'all better wake up and understand what's truly going on, because if you don't, you won't. Meaning that if you get caught slipping, that's you. That's your ass. You gone. You gonna be a goner. And I'm telling you right now, this money is collapsing. It's on the brink of collapse. I know you done heard it a million times before. I know you done heard all kind of warnings. And you even got the Caucasus Mountain Cave animal all over the internet in certain talk show formats and certain seminars letting you know that the dollar is about to collapse, that you need to invest in gold, you need to invest in silver, you need to take that worthless dollar and invest it in something so when the dollar collapses, you won't be out there bad. But they misleading you on that. Why are they misleading you on that, you ass? I'm telling you why they misleading you on that. Because up under Theodore Roosevelt, the president of the so-called United States during the World War II era, he outlawed any individual who possessed and owned gold, because the country was in a state of economic emergency due to the Great Depression. That shit is still on the books. So you wasn't allowed to keep and have gold up under up under economic collapse of the country. So do you honestly think up under economic collapse of the country today that you're gonna be allowed to have and own gold, so you will be the only one running around with gold, able to get and buy and prosper and live and survive while everybody else is in a state of chaos? You got to be the stupidest individual in the world to even think that. But that's what he wants you to think, because if they don't get you in the wash, they're gonna get you in the rinse. Meaning that the same ones who milking you dry and gonna cause the collapse of the dollar, it's the same ones that you supposed to be purchasing this gold and this silver and all that's from, when really they not putting no gold in your hand, they not putting no silver in your hand. They telling you you got it through the stocks and through the stock market and through a piece of paper. But far as tangible evidence that you do have it, they not putting it in your hands. So what you gonna do when the time comes? You gonna present your slip? Oh, hey, I got like about $100,000 worth of gold that I invested into the stock market on. Can I cash it in? Because the money ain't no good no more, so I need to cash this in. But it ain't gonna be no good, because all it is a piece of paper, just like the worthless money, a piece of paper. Understand that. But anyway, I'm gonna end right here, and I'm gonna come back to the final part of this part 3 and hoping y'all can understand this.